Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Hooligans Pitch. As always, my name is Michael and I am here with
Chad.
What's up, Chad? How you doing?
Oh, pretty good. It's a good week of footy, I think.
Yeah, fun week of footy. Happy Sunday. Today was a good day for your squad. Kind of a good day for my squad too, since we didn't play. Didn't have to worry about much. Always nice when you don't lose.
Just worry free over there.
Yeah, it's nice. It's super relaxing. I don't got to come into this podcast and be like, well, Chad,
Not zipped up today.
yeah, no, you can see my face. Light is shining. It's a good day. I am repping Inter. They are playing Juventus right now. I don't know if they're still losing 77th minute, but that's okay. Just wanted to rep someone else today. But let's get started here. What you having to drink?
Well, I forgot to grab a beer earlier, so I'm on the Spindrift.
Oh, hell yeah.
Pineapple flavor. It's not going to focus, but it's a pineapple sparkling water. It's yummy stuff.
Cool. You got to try that sun chasing. Sprinkle a little bit of that in there. Yeah, look up that one. I think I talked about it a little bit. It's like a non-alcoholic
that
powder. Yeah. Always, it's interesting. Give it a shot. I'm going again with the Son of Juice. I had this last week. They're fully stocked. We went to Trader Joe's last weekend, and that has all the good beers. So yeah, I kind of stocked up. All right, let's get into this, Chad. I'm going to give you a date here. November 2nd, 2021. Does that ring any bells for you?
It's the day before my birthday. Other than that, no.
November 2nd, 2021 is the day Antonio Conte signed an 18-month contract at Tottenham. We are now roughly 1 month and 13 days away from that 18-month contract expiring. Yes. Does it just feel like natural order in the world that we are now seeing the Conte effect unwind and just kind of go full apocalyptic?
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised it's taken this long for him to get to this point.
That's fair.
I think that's a credit to his one aspect of his manager ability is to kind of protect the team and players and club after not great performances, and he's made some weird comments along the way, but if that was him protecting everything and then this was him he was doing a great job protecting.
Yeah, I mean we saw him kind of pop off at times too, not so much at his own players, but the little rustle he had with Tuchel way back when, which feels like forever ago, but that was this season, which is just crazy. But yeah, he went at his players today, or I guess yesterday, and that was honestly, I think, fair, because Tottenham really shit the bed.
I mean, look, it's one of those interviews you just don't hear a lot in any kind of sport, where you actually get some honest answers and not just the media trained answer. But I mean, for me as a outsider of Tottenham fandom, he's not wrong with all the stuff he says.
He's totally right on what we've been seeing. The lack of consistency. No one's really taking accountability. He's everyone's looking for excuses, and he's like, "Scusi." I was like, that is I get it. I get what you're saying, and he kept saying we don't have an alibi, and I'm like, man is spitting facts right now, and there's nothing you can argue against it. And for the 9 minutes that he spoke, at least in the interview that we watched, for the first 5 minutes, there wasn't even a question. He just started going.
Just kept going.
I wish we could see the reporters just being like, "Oh my god!" And finally, there was a pause where someone could ask a question, and then I don't even think he answered that question. He just kept going on about the team and them playing selfishly, and we have 11 players, but really we're not playing like a team. And I don't know. He brought up the fact they haven't won a trophy in their existence, and it just felt like a giant truth bomb.
It is, and it's certainly not the like, I don't know, comforting kind of interview you would want to hear either as a Tottenham supporter or like on the Tottenham ownership and stuff. But like, again, Conte came in with a pretty high profile of success at the managerial level, and for it to, as he said, only gotten worse. Like, he's laying it out there pretty clearly. Like, either Tottenham changes on a bigger scale and like actually starts to improve, or yeah, you can just change a manager and you'll continue to do the same thing you've been doing. That said, even if they do start to change things, I don't think he's going to stick around to be the guy.
No.
I think he's just done, and if they keep him to the end of the season, cool. If they let him go tomorrow, I think he's totally fine with that too. I think he's done with it with Tottenham completely. But man, it was just such a wild interview to like see that happen.
I mean, they did fall apart at the end, and
well,
self-implosion. They just slowly crumbled under the pressure. And he's like, these guys don't like pressure. And I believe him, because how many times, I guess there was one game this year where they finally were like, okay, let's get it together. And that was against Bournemouth when they ended up scoring a game winner in the 95th minute or whatever it was. But to feel that type of pressure against that type of team, like, good luck against anyone else.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, as we said last week and, maybe the week before, a lot of these games against the bottom teams right now are going to be really difficult because it's so tight down there. Everyone's scraping for points.
It just got tighter. It just got tighter.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
it was 5 points last week, 12 to 20. Now it's 4. That's crazy.
We're just going to go in and just go off goal differential at the end of it and call it good.
It's wild right now, the bottom of the table. So yeah, Tottenham's got some major thinking to do over the summer, and I won't be surprised if Conte is not with them next week.
No, I think I kind of think like if their board and like ownership and everything wants to, truly be like a big six team, they almost need to just listen to what Conte has just said and almost just do like a full rebuild, like sell off Kane, get your money for him. You can reinvest that. You have to reinvest it smartly. And then, I don't know whether you bring in a maybe less proven but promising manager, or someone who is an actual like builder kind of manager. Like Conte was never that guy. He's never going to be the builder. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm okay with Tottenham falling apart. It's totally fine, but
sometimes you gotta look at it like a neutral.
Yeah, but from a neutral and just like a general like football supporter view, it's like,
yikes!
That it's not a good spot to be. Like, it's your team is playing pretty boring football to watch, and now your manager is just like laid it all out on the line, and see what happens. See where we go from here.
We've been watching Premier League, for the last decade or so, and this year probably being the year that we've paid attention to everyone the most, not just our teams. And I gotta say, they are like the worst top 4 team I've seen kind of ever. You don't get, it's just crazy. You put Liverpool in their spot right now, and everyone be like, man, Liverpool, they're getting it together. Like, good for them for getting that 4th spot. And it's like Tottenham, they're like, they fucking suck. Like, and they're in the. It's just wild how the narrative can be so different just based on expectations and where you're supposed to be. And they had title hopes within this 2-year window. Son and Kane had awesome years last year, and again, it's all statistics. It's not, as a team, how good are they? It's very hard to say, but this year, just compared to last year, is like night and day.
Yeah, I mean, some of that can come into just like Conte's tactics. So like, it's not 100% on the players, but how many times have we talked about a Tottenham game? It's like the first half, they just don't want to play, and then finally they like wake up towards the end of the second half and like get the win. And like, okay, you're up in the top 4 now, but like, you're not generally winning convincingly.
Right.
You know, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I will say that late penalty that Southampton got maybe a little lucky.
Borderline.
Yeah, but
I watched it a couple times. I was like, I don't know. Like,
yeah,
it was
but I mean,
close, but
it's also, it was 3-1 at the 75th minute.
yeah, why are you even letting it get there?
Yeah, you can't let them come back that close at all. Like, so, just the history of the Tottenham.
Yep. I think it's like ever since they lost to Sheffield, it's just been a kind of a downward spiral. Yeah, I don't know. I think a new coach will do them good, especially right now. If they want to like have a good end of the run, there's no way those guys are going to go back in the locker room and look at Conte the same. No way. After he just shit on everyone, I wouldn't. I'd be like, why are you even here? He wants to get fired. I think after that interview, he's like, okay, it's time for me to like either get fired or highly motivate these guys. And that wasn't the speech to highly motivate his team to do well under him for the remaining 10 weeks. I
mean, or maybe he's like, tried other motivating ways and it just hasn't worked. So he's like, all right, I'm just going to throw you under the bus and let's see what happens. And I don't know. I mean, you'd think you'd have like some leaders in that team, like your Kane, and I'm sure Højbjerg is kind of a leadership role, and I don't know, maybe some other players in defense and stuff that have been around a little bit. Like you would think they would kind of stand up and be like, "Yo,
right,
let's get something together here," because like it's not just like a bad run of form at this point. It's like we're just not playing up to the level that we need to play at. Like there's not enough. We're not playing the full 90 minutes. It's playing these little spurts and like getting the good counterattack and stuff, and like that's it.
Well, isn't that what Harry Kane's supposed to be doing? Like
you think?
Honestly, that's yeah.
But I think part of that too is like he re-signs his contract to Tottenham because they have Conte, and probably told him the same garbage promises they told Conte to bring him in. And here we are again, another year of Kane's career just kind of
wasted.
It feels wasted. No trophy at the end. He's not going to get the golden boot. It's just another nothing year.
It sucks to see a player of that caliber just like I don't say like it is a season wasted, but I don't want to say his talents are wasted because he's still scoring goals. But it's like, man, could you imagine him on a team where he didn't have to be the leader? It'd be very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think this summer he probably goes. Like,
it's got to be the one, right? If it's not now, it's not ever.
Probably. I mean, or if he goes later on, it won't be to any like top end team. It'll just kind of be like a I don't know, MLS move or like a kind of end of career move to just finish in a nice area or
get
something.
That money.
Yeah.
Back the bank. All right. Well, let's. I think we shit on them enough for now. Again.
Yeah.
We still got 10 more weeks. You never know. But let's move on to Chelsea because I watched that game in full. Man, every substitution that came on, I was like, how deep does this bench run? Even with how injured they are, it's just crazy how many guys can come off their bench and you're like, he's on their team. He's on their team. Yet they still get the draw against Everton. To no surprise, I had Everton didn't give up. Interesting dynamic right now with Everton. No longer playing Connor Cody, third game in a row. Michael Keane has now taken his job and done a pretty good job with that new spot. I think that's just kind of surprising, though, that Cody had a pretty decent year with Tarkowski. It seemed like a good partnership.
I don't really know what changed necessarily there. Like
Sean Dyche effect. I tried doing a little bit of research on why they made that change. He likes Michael Keane's play. They're exactly the same age. It's not like there's a huge difference in how they play, as far as I could tell. Just kind of surprising. And then Cody didn't get the nod for the English squad, so I don't think Cody will stay at Everton. If they stay up, it sounds like he's already kind of being pushed out the door. So it'll be interesting to see where he kind of ends up next.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's performed well this season when we've seen him out there, and I mean, last season he was great too. So,
It seemed like a
I
fan,
mean,
kind of a fan favorite. I mean, I think fans
yeah,
liked him.
this move was always a little bit weird to me, but yeah, I think he'll definitely end up at probably some like mid-table team
Yeah,
if Everton go down or
I would honestly
because
love him at Liverpool. Liverpool kid, like
I mean, there you go.
we need
that's
some depth.
a solid depth option for sure. I mean, especially if next season ends up looking like this season where it's a lot of injuries, like you just need the bodies.
Yeah, and I think he'd slot. I mean, he'd be automatically in with the fans because he's always been a Liverpool fan. Him going to Everton was kind of like I don't say like a punch in the stomach to him, but he definitely, if he had the real say in it, he would have liked Liverpool a lot more than Everton.
Yeah.
I could only imagine. But let's talk about James Tarkowski really quick, leading the league in block shots in the EPL with 63. He broke his own record today of 61 block shots a year ago. I think he's going to probably hit 80 at this rate.
Yeah, you still got 10 more games, right? Like,
Isn't that crazy? The previous record was 61. It only went back about 14 years. And even in 2008-ish, the record then was about 31. So he's just like, I don't know why James is the one doing this. But king of blocking. He really is.
for sure. I mean, I guess it's good positioning and just always being in front of the ball and stuff. But like, I don't know how he does it. And it's
That's
like
a crazy
consistently
number.
every game he's getting like multiple blocks. You know,
I laughed out loud when I saw his stat line today because I was like, 7 clearances, now 7 blocks. I was like, are you kidding me? 7? And it's funny because in the moment, like you don't really think about like, oh my God, like by the end of the game, like James blocked everything. But then you go look at like, wow, he was there every freaking shot. So
yeah. I mean, he's been pretty consistent, like in overall performance anyway. I mean, he kind of gave away a poor penalty
yeah,
for that game, but
his face said it all.
Yeah, just immediately he was like, uh-oh.
Yep. I did find out we've been pronouncing João Felix's name wrong. Did you see this?
No.
He came out to a reporter today saying, like, everyone says my name wrong. In Spain, in England, wherever I go, they say it wrong. It's Felix. Like,
Felix.
You fell over, Felix, not Felix. He was like, it's not Felix. He's like, but I don't care, but it's not Felix. I was like, I care a little. So, just for our sake, yeah, Felix. I thought that was kind of interesting, so I have that noted here.
I don't like it.
It's going to be a weird change, but, it's whatever. But anyway, Everton getting the draw against Chelsea. I knew it was coming. Knew it.
I mean, I said they were going to win.
I know.
I thought it was going to happen, But I mean, still, yeah, to get the draw away at Chelsea, it's a pretty good result for Everton, I'd say.
Well, considering Chelsea's team is just stupidly stacked. They didn't play Mudryk, which I guess was kind of surprising. I don't know why he didn't get in. Pulisic got the start though, which is cool to see him back on the pitch. Ben Chilwell looked really good, and you know who's knocking for him right now? Did you see this rumor?
No.
Manchester City says we would like one Ben Chilwell, please. So that could happen considering how much, I don't want to say, Chelsea's depth is insane, but like honestly, their left back spot is weird. I guess
because what they have, Cucurella,
yep,
and Chilwell, and do they have another one?
Well, they could kind of throw Fofana back in there too. They were experimenting that a little bit with like a little bit of overlap. Yeah, I don't know. Chilwell's just finally coming into the zone right now too. But if Man City comes knocking, it's
yeah. I'm sure it's a okay. Thanks, Chelsea. See you later.
Yeah, considering I mean Chilwell has been playing more lately.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was injured for a little bit too, so
yeah, he's kind of coming back into form now. Yeah, he played really good, and then Felix, he's just fitting right in. So I assume with the money they're splashing, they're probably going to buy him?
You think so?
Right? He's easily their best player right now.
He is, but I think Atletico wanted like
They do.
120 million or something like that.
They do. But why wouldn't Chelsea just spend that money? Right? Like, there's no. How do you argue against that when they bought Enzo for the same amount? And Enzo is getting dribbled around the most in all of Europe. It's fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if he's willing to stick around at Chelsea and they want to spend that money, which I don't see why they wouldn't. They have spent that multiple times already, but I mean, dang, it's a hefty price. But they can spend that money and they'll still be 10th. They just live in that number 10 spot.
So I was going to ask you this: would you rather be Aston Villa right now in 11th, or would you rather be Chelsea in 10th? Mind you, same amount of points, but I don't know. Villa's coming up right now. They've scored in every single game Emery has coached.
Yeah. I mean, I think you'd probably put your money on Villa, right? Because like
as of right now, yeah,
kind of making some movement and stuff. Because I was curious because I feel like Chelsea had been there for the whole season. I was like, how long have they been in 10th? So I went and looked it up. They've been there since match day 18, back on January 1st, when they drew 1-1 against Forest. Like, and they haven't moved since. It's almost incredible. Like, the teams around them, just haven't done enough to do it or pass them really, but it's just they just got that number 10 spot locked in.
Huh. What was the highest they were? Do you have that info?
I think they peaked at like 4th for one match week, but
like super early.
fell. Yeah, it was pretty early on, and then fell back pretty quickly there. Yeah, I mean, you're dead smack mid-table, so there you go. Spent the 600 million or whatever, and holding down that spot.
It's wild. The three teams that are 38, 38, 39 points. Like Fulham is on this epic downward trend. Chelsea's not moving, and Villa's climbing right up. So I won't be surprised if Chelsea stays right in the middle, and Fulham and Aston Villa just like swap real quick, and then Chelsea stays there, and then they just keep like separating with this gap. Martinez 100th EPL game today.
Oh, really?
Did you know he has the most clean sheets in the first 100 games for any player in the Premier League with 34?
Dang, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. All with Villa, and Villa hasn't been a team where I'm thinking like, oh, they're shutting everyone out. I don't know how many played with Arsenal, but it couldn't have been that many, right? Maybe like a dozen.
Yeah, because he just finished out that season when Leno got hurt. I mean, he was definitely good, and that kind of got him to where he's at now. But I didn't realize he was still producing that many clean sheets even at Villa.
Yeah, pretty crazy. I think I have it on my list here. He played roughly 14 with Arsenal from 2014 to 2020. So
yeah. Prior to that last season, there he basically never played.
Yeah,
but every time he did play, he looked pretty terrible.
Really?
So So when Leno got hurt and Martinez came in, everyone's like, all right, well, there goes the season sort of thing. And then he was making big saves and, being the Emi Martinez we know now, which is cool to see. But then, at the end of the day, Bernd Leno was still the number one. So once he healed, he was kind of take his spot back.
Right.
So then, Arsenal sold Emi, and then he, started talking about how Arsenal didn't respect him and all this stuff. It's like, they've been with you for so long and sent you all these loans and stuff. I mean, but yeah, he's doing well now, World Cup winner, so take it,
Take it and run. Yeah, just the clean sheet thing, I was very surprising. Segue to Arsenal, took on the worst team in the Premier League today. Very, very, I would say easy win. Would you say easy win too? Were you nervous at any point?
I went into it nervous only because it seems to be that like teams get that new manager bounce against Arsenal very often.
Mm.
At least it feels that way. It might be, kind of the same for all teams. It just I noticed the Arsenal ones more. Um, so I was a little bit concerned about that. And then Saliba wasn't in the squad, so you're missing a key starter.
How long is he out for? Have they said?
I haven't heard anything. And Arsenal's this season been pretty like tight-lipped about injuries and timetables and stuff.
Okay.
So hopefully not too long. I mean, kind of worked out that there's this international break, so get a little bit of free time. But yeah, Rob Holding came in, did excellent. He's generally been a good depth option. Normally just comes in to close the games, but nice to see him out there for a full game and handle Zaha well. And
Zaha is all they got.
yeah. I mean, between Holding and Ben White over there, like he had a couple looks for sure, but I mean beyond that, yeah, they had just zero real threat. And I think once Arsenal scored, it was like it went from like a controlled game to just like easy Arsenaler and cruise mode game. Like,
yeah, that shot Zaha had where it hit Ramsdale's back, that was like that game of inches where if it hits his back in the wrong spot, it goes in the goal. It's just crazy how if he doesn't even if he slides differently, it's wild. So yeah, Zaha, and that team's really interesting with Zaha. I feel like they have to play through him a lot because he's really freaking good, but it's almost like he's trying too hard. Like he feels like he has to do everything, which I mean he kind of does, but also at the same time you could enable others by being such a good player because it opens up so much space for others. And I don't know, their team just it's
I think
it's bad.
Yeah, they use him a little incorrectly. I think like they always want to just send him on the break and hope that he can either outrun the defender or use some move to get past him and then get the shot off. But it's like those chances will come, sure, but I think you'd be better off, give Zaha the ball so he attracts all the attention, and then you have people running in and he can find the pass and either, just a good cross or find the open guy to get a good shot off, but they just kind of don't. They just kind of leave him up there, and then that's kind of that. But
if you could put Zaha on any other team right now, where do you think he'd kind of fit in?
Maybe. I mean, I'd like to see him in like a Leicester, only because like James Maddison creates a lot of opportunity, and then they're generally like pretty good about having their striker in the box and like people following up. I think he could do well in a system kind of like that. Just for like, I mean, yeah, he doesn't need to be the one guy. He's good. He's quick. He's got the skills and stuff. But you're like Zaha level. But then if you want to be like the guy, you need to be like an Eden Hazard level. Like he could do all that and still score the goals. But it's like Zaha just isn't doing that.
Yeah,
so.
Hazard was a different player. I didn't get to watch too much of him, but the way he used his body, he was just his center of gravity was so crazy. Zaha's a little bit more lanky, but that was, let's see, I'm looking at Crystal Palace's match fixtures. That was their 8th loss in the last 13 games. They haven't won in the last 14, Chad.
Look at
the opponents.
Before you get all crazy here. Look at their schedule for the start of the year.
I know.
It's been crazy.
But they haven't even been like super competitive with these games.
I mean, they've lost the games that they've lost by like 1 goal. That's pretty good. I mean, shots have been lackluster for sure, but I think your like on-field play is decent. I mean, I just feel like firing Patrick Vieira is kind of a bad move.
I don't disagree with that. I do think their schedule is tough. I do think they should have gotten some wins in here, though, in order. But that's why I'm saying they're the worst team in the Premier League. Even before, even by, let's see, the game they lost to Aston Villa, I think that was the game that was like, okay, this is where they're at now. If they can't beat Villa, who Villa at that time was, yes, coming up, but essentially they were below Crystal Palace in the standings at that point. I want to say, because Villa's won 3 out of their last 4, so they've made up 10 points in the last 4 weeks. And that was 4 weeks ago. So let's see, where does that put Villa if we take 10 points off of them? At 28 points. I guess they're hovering together.
Yeah.
But now look where Villa is. Like it's just the split is there, and what they've lost the most games out of the last 6 in anyone here besides Leicester.
Granted, yeah, but I mean, like, where are you going now? Like, at least
where are they going?
Yeah, but Vieira got them through this run, and they're still 12th. They ended last season 12th, so like you're not any worse off, really. I mean, you had Zaha out injured for a while. Anderson was out injured and maybe out for a longer spell now again. And like now your last 10 games, I think, are all against bottom 8 competition. So,
whoa. They got Fulham in there, Chad.
Fulham and Tottenham are the outliers here, but you know, it's these should be the games that they, if not win, at least get the draws from. So I don't know. I mean, I would hope if you're gonna fire your manager, kind of just like, you know, at middle of the end of the season, you have someone lined up right away, and you're not just using your U21 coach like you did today. Like
the timing is awful.
Yeah, the timing sucks, and I don't know. I guess maybe they just didn't trust Vieira to be able to get the wins out of these last 10 games, but I don't know. Feels like a harsh firing to me. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. They just...
Well, it's like, what do they want right now? What's their end goal? I guess not to be relegated, but
yeah,
they've never been relegated with Vieira. So what...
And that's what I'm saying. Is like, you ended last season 12th. You're currently 12th. So it's not like like last season we were good and now we suck. It's like you're in a bad patch, but you've played like basically the whole top half of the table now. And I don't know. I just like last year they had Conor Gallagher, who was like a big player for them in their system, and they just didn't replace him. Like he stayed at Chelsea, too bad, but you also didn't bring anyone in that was like kind of similar. So that's just kind of bad, transfer strategy, I guess. But I don't know. It's you're walking, I think, a very thin line right now of like, we had Vieira and maybe weren't performing how we should, but we weren't falling necessarily. And now you're kind of in this unknown of like, we could go up, or the rumors I've seen, they want to bring back Roy Hodgson. And
I saw that.
I don't think he's the answer.
No.
So
short term or long term.
Yeah. I mean, I looked through some of the comments that like Palace fans are making, and they're all kind of the same thing of like, why did we fire him? Like we weren't doing terrible as standings go, like it is tight down there for sure, and like you're in 12th, but it's still kind of pretty scary. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but it caught me by surprise, honestly. And to do it on St. Patrick's Day is just
brutal.
I
will stand by the fact that the firing doesn't make sense, but I will also stand by the fact that I believe they are the worst team in the Premier League. Even though they've had a really tough stretch, they've shown nothing in the last couple weeks that they can stay up. I would put money on it for them to get relegated at this point. I really would.
You're going that hard?
I would. Look at everyone else. Everyone else has at least like, I don't know, either some form of motivation or games to make up. We did this last week. We can go down the list again.
You do it every week.
Everyone has some type of momentum, or at least a game where they show flashes of like, look what we can do. And we haven't gotten that from Crystal Palace since like December.
I mean, you've had flashes. I think like even though some of them may have not been wins, you still. I mean, you drew with United once. You drew with Newcastle. You drew with Liverpool. You drew with Brighton. Like you lost to City by one goal, and that's Elise doing a stupid foul in the box. Like, attacking wise, yeah, they've been kind of quiet, but defensively they have been fairly well organized. But I don't know. If you want to put money on them getting relegated, I will take your money.
Wow. Wow. So you think they're better than 17th?
Yeah, I think they survive.
Everyone here from 12 to 20. No, hang on. Forest is scaring me now because now they're just like they're crumbling too. And I'm not saying they will or won't make it. I would just still bet on Crystal Palace being the one. Time will tell. We have 10. We have 10 more weeks, dude. That's crazy. I was thinking about that when I was. What game was I watching today? The Man U game. There were like 10 weeks to go in the season. I was like, damn. I was like, really? We have like 10 more episodes of like Premier League. Like that's crazy. It's crazy. Saka is my nomination for Player of the Week. Be real. Not a whole lot of players doing anything too magical. Again, a lot of postponement games today.
Yeah, I mean, 2 goals, 1 assist. He's now at 12 goals and 10 assists in Premier League for the season.
And he's cooking. We did say we weren't going to give Haaland Player of the Week until he gets 5 goals. I think we still stand by that.
He gets the honorable mention, of course.
Yes.
For getting another hat trick.
8 goals this week, not in Premier League, but that is stupid. 8? It's like, does he get bored of celebrating that time? Like, oh man, like that number 6 is like, I gotta do it again.
That's when you just start either pulling out the things you're still working on for celebrations, or you go out and just do something random and see what happens.
I didn't watch all the Champions League goals he scored. Because
I mean, a lot of them he was just in like the right position. Like, so like a few came off deflections and stuff, and just kind of fell to him, and he was right there, and in front of goal enough, but like still scored the goals. So, you get it. But I mean, I think just to close out this Arsenal game, like going into the international break, City still have a game in hand now, but 8-point gap. I think even maybe not more important, but just as important is the goal differential is now down to 2 between the teams. Arsenal's on 40, City's at 42. Because that could come into play later on. We'll see. I hope not. But it was nice to kind of close that a little bit because I think it was at like maybe like 9 or so a few weeks ago. So,
and City has Liverpool April 1st.
Yeah, shut them down.
It's gonna be fun. I can't wait for that game. All right, let's kind of speed it up here a little bit. I want to talk about Wolves and Leeds because that was a super interesting game with some spiciness at the end because the Wolves were coming. They were had some momentum kind of going their way, and then VAR changed that quite a bit. And I want your take because we haven't really talked about it. Do you think that shirt pull was enough for VAR to call that a foul? Which, in my head, they're claiming Traore is just so big where that shouldn't have really affected him, and he kind of gave up on it before the full tug happened. But I'm sorry. If you're able to tug on anyone's jersey like that and get away with it, you would do it all the time. Which, granted, it does happen a lot, but the fact that the refs viewed that play to see what happened there, and you easily see a shirt get pulled, it's stretched, and they were like, "No, that's fine." What?
Yeah,
I don't get that at all.
I think this was like one of those where, like he feels the shirt pull and he just kind of stops anticipating the foul to be called, and then when it isn't, like, the play goes on. So I think when you look at it like that, it is a foul, but it looks like he's maybe looking for it more than they would like or something. But yeah, it was one of those weird ones where it's like, you see that called all over the pitch throughout the whole game, and then this one all of a sudden is like, yep, cool, just start yanking on shirts. Like,
The coach went up to the ref and said, "Are you allowed to pull someone's shirt when they're going for the ball?" And it looked like the ref said no, and he was just like,
yeah.
"So
yeah,
why that point?" And of course, a goal was scored off of it. It just was like, wow, that was pretty bad.
And yeah, for so many of these goals that we've seen that get called off because of some, soft foul early on in the play, and then like this one is just, looked at but like not taken seriously. It's just like, okay, well, that's a interesting call, but
And then,
there's that inconsistency.
And then the chaos, the red card, because someone was arguing about VAR, and I don't blame them.
Yeah. It was weird to see Diego Costa being the one trying to hold people back.
Dude, I wrote that down. I agree. I was like, he is being the calming force here out of everyone. Hilarious. Yeah. That's the type of man he is now. He's a family man.
Yeah, he's mature now. he's a big boy now, so he's the father of the group.
10 years ago, he would have chest bumped that ref and probably knocked him on the floor. Guarantee it.
For sure.
Yeah, that was a crazy finish. Super entertaining. I was going, what the hell is going on? And
I will shout out Johnny real quick. Nice, long range goal, and then to get the red card, just a complete game.
Yeah, full package.
Love to see it.
If you're gonna do it, you do it like that.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. God, that was a weird one. And then the other red card, the trio of red cards today, that was super. When I read your messages, I was like, holy crap, I got to see what's going on here. And we turned on the game and kind of watched it all.
Yeah, Fulham just threw it away.
The Fulham implosion.
That's it. I mean,
they were up when I was like, they're winning right now, and they're doing all this.
Yeah, like I wasn't really paying too much attention to the game, and then saw they were up, so I turned it on, and United wasn't really doing much. They would poke, but nothing really threatening, and then Sancho finds his way through a little bit and rounds the keeper, and then Willian makes this goal line save, but definitely does a little like scrunch into the ball thing, so like clear handball.
Yeah,
it's fine, but like for then I'm pretty sure it's the manager that walked over to the ref when he was on VAR,
Marco Silva.
So like he got the red card, and then Willian deservedly gets his red card, but then Mitrovic just like blows his top and like starts yanking on the ref's arm, and like chest bump him, and I was like, what the heck is this guy doing?
This is the most Mitrovic stat line ever. 5 shots, 3 on target, 1 goal, 1 red card. Where's his defensive stats? Oh, no clearances or blocks, but I was like, dude, he's totally back, and 2 dribbles to add to that. I was like, this would be a great stat line if there was no red card in here, but he just finds a way to -5.
I just like I get they had the lead, and there's tension because they want to believe it was a fair block and all that, and now a penalty and red card comes from that. But now you're down a guy, penalty could be saved, like you're not necessarily down a goal yet, but then to just fully implode now,
lost their heads.
Yeah, just ridiculous. But
that just shows the immaturity of where they started and where they're at now. Yeah, it's crazy how far they've truly fallen.
Yeah.
So they were that team that just like pissed everyone off. It was like, fuck, Fulham again. And now, honestly, I'm like, okay, bring on Fulham, because they have no composure. They play Bournemouth next go around, and I don't think they're gonna have a good time playing them.
I wouldn't think so. Yeah.
And then Liverpool's supposed to be playing. They were supposed to play them today if this game didn't happen. So, yeah, that was an interesting one. And then the other FA game, Brighton just demolishing
Cruising.
oh man, they look good. Every goal they scored except for maybe one was just pretty. The Matoma goal was hilarious, like in the most sad way for the other team, where it just slowly like rotated to the edge of the goal. The Sully March goal was sick, great header. That actually might be like the best header I've seen in a while, where he kind of just went like all out.
Yeah.
And then the Ferguson goal, we don't really do it FA Cup games for goal of the week, but the Evan Ferguson goal was really, really nice. The first one. I like that one a lot.
Brighton's flying, they look great. And I mean, I know this wasn't top level competition, but I mean, at this point in the FA Cup, like you want to go out there and just kind of punch your way through, right? You don't want to play this close 1-0 game against a team from a lower league, and so. But I mean, they cruised. City cruised. Sheffield United maybe could have been Wrexham.
I know. God, what could have been? What could have been? Sabitzer also earned a nomination for me for his goal. It's pretty slick. Little ball in, quick flick behind him. I didn't want Man U to win, but it is what it is. Fulham implosion. It happens.
Fulham just had to let it happen,
God, they always do, man. Real letdown. Games that we missed.
The only one I want to talk about is the Nottingham Forest Newcastle game.
Oh yeah, on Friday.
Yeah, mainly because of the VAR call. It was I forget who dribbles it in, but someone, I think maybe Isak shoots, and the ball kind of, I think keeper saves it, and it falls to a Nottingham Forest player who goes to kind of clear it or like I guess pass it out. It bounces off a Newcastle player who's in an offside position, which then comes back to Isak, and he would have assisted, I don't know, some Newcastle player to score. But then VAR calls it back and says it's offside because it bounced off this player that was in an offside position. It's like, that feels really harsh because the Forest player kicks the ball into him.
Right. So at that point, shouldn't that just be like negated? That it's once a Forest player touches the ball, it's like that was my interpretation of it.
Right? Yeah.
Because
he had clear possession. It wasn't like just a blind swing of the kick to get the ball out of there. He like had it, and it looks more like a pass than a clearance, really. And just happens to hit the guy that's in the offside position, which unfortunately bounces back to another Newcastle player. But like, it's not really his fault.
Well, right, because I mean, once another player touches it, the offside rules, or when the opposing team touches it, the offside rule is supposed to just be there. It doesn't exist anymore. It's supposed to just go away. My thought behind that was, well, is this player playing offside to then interpret how the next like action goes? Which is, again, it's this rule is just so complicated now because refs aren't supposed to wave their flags when someone's offside. They're supposed to like let it play out.
Yeah.
But if the ref would have waved his flag for the initial offside, none of this would have happened.
Yeah.
That's a really weird scenario. But again, like, I think if the rule stands where the defender hits it or the opposing team hits it and it hits into you, you're then onside. Like, you're good. You should be good to go.
Yeah, because it's kind of like, I mean, yeah, almost like you made the tackle or like the interception of a back pass or something, and then now you're passing it backwards further to your team.
Right.
Like so I thought that goal should have stood, but
I mean, it almost cost him. They got lucky. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say lucky for their last goal, but it was, I don't know. That game could have easily ended in a draw.
Yeah.
And, Newcastle got the PK at the end, but Isaac's looking good. He's finally coming alive for them. I guess it took a little probably more time than maybe others.
Well, he's at least starting now. Like,
he's getting
that's a big help, I think.
Yeah, and
more than the 20-30 minutes out there. So.
And Saint Maximin got injured again?
Oh, did he?
I think he did. He went out pretty early.
That guy gets injured.
Another thigh injury.
Yikes.
Same thing as the beginning of the year when that all went down. And then who else got injured today? I was looking at stat lines, and a couple players got subbed out within the first 20 minutes of the game.
Not today, but Southampton lost Bednarak
Yes.
and Bellacaccia
Yes.
both in the first half. Bednarak, I guess, got broken ribs in whatever happened.
Oh,
So he might be a longer absence than
okay.
just, well, I mean, international break, so that could kind of benefit them as well. But
Yeah, and then Bellacaccia got dropped from the German squad because he's probably going to be out for a little bit too. But that's a big blow for them.
Yeah.
But hey, they didn't have them and they made a comeback. So
True, very true.
next players rose up.
Yeah.
Did their jobs. All right, let's want to do a quick little nomination, figure out who our team player goal of the week is.
Yeah.
Let's start with, how about team?
You chose the one that I don't have one.
Oh, okay. I'll give you mine. It's Southampton. Epic comeback against Tottenham.
I thought about
against a
it.
top 4 squad, bottom of the table.
Yeah, I considered it. Like, the only thing holding me back was that last minute penalty they got was very fortunate.
Yeah.
I think, but I mean, yeah, you show the fight to get back into it, and because other than that, Villa went 3-0 against Bournemouth, but you should. Everton, I thought about because I get the draw from Chelsea, but if it was a win, probably.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I just couldn't really decide on one. Southampton, I'm totally down with though. Yeah, it was 3-1 at 75 minutes, and
Worst team against a top 4 team. If this was an Arsenal and they came back and did this, it would be game of the year for Southampton.
Yeah.
So, but it's Tottenham, so I understand it's not game of the year, but it's a great comeback for a team that's at the bottom of the table and needs some momentum. So
for sure.
let's give it to old Southampton here. Player, I think we're in agreement.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Saka for sure. The only other ones I had down were Walcott got 1 goal, 1 assist for Southampton, and then Isak with the 2 goals, but 1 being a penalty. So
Right. Well, this is 2 weeks in a row an Arsenal player has claimed it.
That's it. We cruising.
Damn it. It's crazy. All right, fun one. Goal of the week. This is a tough one for me.
Yeah.
Tough one. I didn't know if I wanted to go with context or flashiness, and I'll be real, there weren't that many flashy goals for me this week. Ellis Sims of Everton scoring the equalizer, first goal in the Premier League. Awesome time to do it.
Koulibaly.
Ooh, man, that was awful defending. So that was my first one. And then as I kind of deep dove into everything, slowly marched, the Ferguson goal and Sabitzer, those were my other ones in there. But I would like to give it to Ellis just because of how loud the crowd was too, and
a draw, but that's big points for Everton right now.
Huge points. Huge.
I like that. The only other ones I had, Isak's first goal was that weird kind of behind him leg kick thing, which is just kind of a cool one to see. Saka's first goal I thought was great, but it's mainly due to Ben White's pass, which is the most perfect weight on the pass.
I know, that was crazy. Oof. That was a good one. I did like Martinelli's first goal too, where he just blew. He created that space on his defender and damn, that first step is scary. Scary. This is a tough one.
Yeah. I think probably go Sims, just debut, blow past an experienced defender and to salvage the draw
at the 90th minute.
Yeah.
The 90th minute. That's and the pressure there to make sure you're gonna score, get the draw. That can go a long way.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good to me. All right, just a quick little fun tidbit. I got my boy Zlatan on the wall here. He is just got the call up for the Sweden team.
He's back?
He's back, baby. He's playing next week. So look for Zlatan on the score sheet. And today, he broke the record for the oldest goal scorer in Serie A. 41 years, 166 days. Scored a PK for AC Milan. The dude is still doing it. It's crazy.
That's nuts.
It's crazy.
I thought once he went to LA Galaxy, that was like kind of last stop. Maybe do one more like back in Sweden or something, but no.
How many years ago was that now? 4? 5?
Yeah, because it was like right around the time that LAFC just started. So yeah, and they've been around a few years now, and sheesh.
He's still doing it. Him and Giroud in Milan, man, they're killing it.
Yeah.
It was a PK, but again, the dude's gonna be 42 in 6 months. He's doing his thing. I think this Sweden run he's making will probably be his kind of last little run because he has been pretty hurt. But getting to see him, I don't like AC Milan, but getting to see him walk out with that trophy with a cigar and bottle in hand, that was one of the coolest kind of like WWE moments. I was just like, this dude is living the dream.
No one else could do that.
No, and make it look cool? No way. Absolutely not. All right.
I do want to leave you with one little thing to keep your eye on.
Yeah.
The Kardashian curse.
Oh, who are they? Are they dating someone?
Not dating.
Okay.
But apparently Kim's kids are Arsenal fans. So they're at the stadium Thursday night for the Europa League. Arsenal lost after extra time and penalties out of the Europa League. Today, they were attending the home game at PSG versus Rennes. I don't speak French. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Rennes.
Yeah.
Rennes. PSG lost 2-0. It's their first home loss in 35 games. Kardashian curse. Keep your eye on it. It might be a thing.
Okay, I'm going to be paying attention to where they go. This is like the Drake curse, but slightly scarier because they could be anywhere.
Yeah, so if they want to go to like a City home game soon, that would be great.
Oh, that'd be tight. That would be tight. I don't think those kids look like City fans, though. They're probably going to be, I guess Spain is the next test. They're Madrid kids for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. All right, that's something fun. We'll have to pay attention to that. We need like a tracker.
I think so.
Like a Kim K soccer tracker or something. It's like the Elon jet tracker, but
exactly.
Okay, Chad. We need to make this like today. Let's find a Twitter handle. Let's see how we can find them, and we'll try it out.
Yeah, you can send out the warning for everyone. It's like, all right, look out. Your team. You're like, oh shit.
Like TMZ, Kim Kardashian continues soccer tour.
Please stop.
Oh, this is what we need. We're gonna create this Twitter handle, and TMZ is gonna come knocking.
There you go.
All right, Chad. Well, with that, this has been a fun, quick little episode 29 of the Hooligans Pitch. Anything else you want to say? Oh, how'd the Quails do last night?
Oh, USL refs are garbage.
Yeah.
It ended up as a draw. We'll take it because it was 2 bad foul calls at the 30th minute, and we were down a guy for the last, hour or so. But sacrifice a draw out of that. So.
Yeah.
Or salvage a draw, but it's fun. Good to be back out there. So.
Yeah, it looked fun. It looked like a good time. All right, well, keep me updated on how they're doing, and hopefully you can find them coming east, and we can hit up a game out here. But
yeah,
we'll see. All right, with that, episode 29, Hooligans Pitch. Have a good week. We're out.
Peace.
Later.